The symphony orchestra performs as one powerful but sensitive instrument. The conductor, with hands, with arms, with his whole body, sometimes with just a glance, a frown, or a smile, plays this versatile instrument. The ways in which he inspires the orchestra to bring to life the writings of the great composers are reflections of the personality of the conductor. But conducting as we know it today is little more than 150 years old. When orchestras were small, it was often the harpsichordist who would give the signals and beat the time. At times, it was the first violinist who gave the cues with nods of his head and with sweeps of his bow. But as more instruments were added and performing groups became larger, the player leader gradually gave way to the specialist conductor. It was found that it helped to have something in the conductor's hand which could be seen easily from the back row and which was light enough to be handled without tiring. A roll of music. Or a stick with a handkerchief tied to one end. And so, by about 1800, the conductor with his baton took command of the orchestra. Whatever his methods, it is the conductor's function to communicate with the orchestra. His language is a sign language. Both the conductor and the players must understand the language. An important part of what he communicates comes from the score in which the composer has written the music and directions for playing. Thus, in a score, we always find the time indicated by the time signature which we see here. The 4 at the top indicates that there are 4 beats to the measure, and the lower 4 indicates that a quarter note gets 1 beat. The outline for the basic beats is given by the right hand. This Beethoven symphony opens in 4/4 time. It is conducted this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks this way on a chart. Q, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here on the score of Brahms' Second Symphony is a 3/4 time signature, 3 quarter notes to a measure. Here, our conductor is beating this 3/4 time in a very precise manner. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Actually, style will vary greatly among conductors. Another very common musical time is 2 beats to the measure. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's take a look at it on the chart. We have now seen in charts and by example the beating of 3 basic musical times or tempos. Other musical tempos are variations of these basic ones. If all a conductor had to do was mechanically to beat time, a metronome would do it just as well, perhaps better. But the conductor must do more than beat out time. He interprets and gives character to the composer's works. Let us watch our conductor as he conducts a portion of the final movement of Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony. Note how he uses his right hand to beat out the slow three-quarter time. Observe that the first beat of a measure is always down, the last beat is always up. The players keep their eyes on the conductor, especially for their entry, or when the conductor establishes a new rhythm, tempo, or mood. The tempo slows as the conductor brings the sound volume down to almost a whisper. Here, he brings in the horns. And now, on cue, the main theme. Musical symbols and words in the score provide clues to interpretation, but the conductor must translate these into signals which each man in the orchestra can follow. For example, the conductor sees poco animato in the score. In Italian, it means a little animated. How little, or how animated? The conductor decides. Listen. And now, retenuto, broadly translated, retained or held back. Observe how the orchestra slows down and then regains the beat. With signs such as crescendo, the composer indicates an increase in sound volume, and here, in speed too. But how loud? And how fast? Now let us observe the blending of orchestral colors, which is achieved when the color of one choir is added to the other to build the full orchestral sound. The conductor brings in any choir or voice in the way he desires. Let's repeat this passage and see how much it changes in character if the conductor gives more prominence to the strings. We'll try again. This time, observe the predominance of brasses. All this gives the conductor a wide range of artistic freedom. This young conductor will help us illustrate how variations of timing influence a composition. Here is one way Beethoven's Fifth Symphony may be conducted. Now listen to this same passage conducted by another artist. But a third artist, using the same score, may read it in such a way as to compromise between the two extremes. In each case, the tempo and the style have been determined by the conductor. So the conductor, the time beater, the drill master, and the interpretive musician all in one, using this fine orchestra as a single great instrument, will bring to a climax the finale of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.